If you're feeling overwhelmed by all of the complex curly hair routines, or maybe you're someone who just doesn't have a lot of time and energy to put into your curls, this routine is for you. Today, I am switching it up from my usual routine and I'm showing you a step-by-step curly hair routine that you can do that still looks like you put in effort, but is definitely pared down from my usual routines. My name is Gina and welcome back to my channel. Here we talk all things naturally curly. I love simplifying things, helping you problem solve with your curls, and I'm also a curl coach who helps my clients find a routine that works for them and their lifestyle. I'm all about finding what works for you and keeping things very simple where possible because I know not everyone has all the time in the world to put into their curls. So this video was inspired by a lot of my clients who just need something that is very straightforward, but they still want to enhance certain areas of their hair. They want to treat some problem areas. So this routine will still do that for you, and it will still look like you put in effort in your curls. So let's get started. I've actually already dry detangled my hair beforehand, and I'm just wetting it down. But the first step is to use a clarifying shampoo or a shampoo on your hair. We don't need to overcomplicate it, just use one or the other. Today is a clarifying wash day for me, so I am going to be using the Ouidad Waterworks, which is one of my all-time favorite clarifying shampoos. But if you're not clarifying today, just use your regular shampoo. On clarifying days, you don't need to use a regular shampoo too. Keep it simple, just pick one or the other. But the Ouidad Waterworks is really nice because it removes hard water minerals, product buildup, chlorine, it's color safe. It's not too stripping, but it's still very effective. I can usually get a pretty good cleanse in just one shampoo, but I always like to add water and keep scrubbing. Spend some time actually scrubbing your scalp to make sure you really get down and remove that buildup. That way your hair lasts even longer, so it's less maintenance. But this is typically something that I'll do maybe 1 to 2 times a month in terms of clarifying. Then on all the other wash days, I just use a regular shampoo on my hair. So if you're not clarifying today, just go with your regular shampoo on this step. I recommend one that has a good lather to it, something that's not too moisturizing, so that way it can effectively cleanse the hair and not leave behind any residue. Now it's time to condition the hair. So you want to either go with a deep conditioner or a regular conditioner. You do not need to use both. So today I'm using the new Briogeo Acai and Passionfruit lightweight hydration mask. I've been testing this for my last couple of wash days and I'm really impressed by it. It's one of the few deep conditioners I've tried that actually is very lightweight and not too heavy. We need more in this category for those of you with very fine hair that gets weighed down easily. I'm also detangling with it and then working it from my ends to the roots. I also like to add a little bit of water and scrunch my hair just to make sure it absorbs, and then I put my hair up in a clip to let it sit. But you don't need to let it sit too long. Always check the label and see. Some masks, even like this one, you only have to leave it on for about 5 minutes, so don't overcomplicate it. And then after that sets, rinse it out. I always recommend making sure that you thoroughly rinse out your deep conditioners and your conditioners, especially if you're someone whose hair gets weighed down very easily. So you'll see me kind of massaging my scalp, spending some time really working that water through my hair, especially when I'm washing my hair upside down like this. You really need to make sure that you get the front part and around your roots, which is harder to reach. I'm just wrapping my hair up in my hair repair towel so we can go in style. Now it's time to style, so I'm taking my hair down out of my hair repair towel. This is actually a new one. It's the undyed version. I'll have it linked for you down below. I don't know if it's because I hadn't washed it yet, but it didn't seem super absorbent, which could be a good thing if you don't want to soak up too much water out of your hair, if you like to style more soaking wet. But I wanted to show you how you don't want to apply your products. You see how my hair is very stringy, tangly, and frizzy here? This is how my hair looks straight out of the shower or after washing it. I can't just scrunch in product like this as is. I prefer to smooth out my hair first, then encourage the curls back up with styling techniques like scrunching, which I'll show you. If your hair has a lot of wet frizz, webbing, or tangles, this could be why. I'm going in with my Curlsmith Miracle Shield. This is my favorite heat protectant. I like to apply it to my palms first and then distribute it all over, focusing on the ends and working my way up. Then I use my Tangle Teezer to brush it through. That will evenly distribute the product and smooth everything out. That will get rid of all of that wet frizz and tangles. After brushing, I always take my hands and run them through my hair, lifting the hair up off the scalp. This is key. You don't want to apply your products with your hair stuck down or else you're not going to have any root volume. And don't worry about stretching out your curls. We're going to bring them right back with styling. Now, see how much better that looks? There's no more wet frizz and there's a nice base for styling and applying product. Since we're aiming for a very quick and easy routine here, plus I like to keep things as straightforward as possible anyway, I'm choosing to use just a gel for this routine. I'm going with one of my all-time favorites, the Ouidad Advanced Advanced Climate Control Stronger Hold Gel because I have the best chance of being happy with my routine, even though I'm not doing all my best brush styling techniques that I usually do. It's very moisturizing, so I don't need to use a leave-in or a curl cream underneath. I always recommend using your gel alone for the best hold. So just one styling product here, keeping it very simple. To apply my product, I'm just raking it through, but I'm noticing as I'm raking the product through, I'm not really able to get the gel down onto the inner layers of my hair. I'm seeing a lot of frizz underneath, and that's usually why I section. Usually for my regular routines, I section my hair to get a more even coverage of gel, but I wanted to skip sectioning for this routine and just apply my gel by raking it through to keep it very simple. I still want to get even coverage throughout though, so I'm trying to be as thorough as possible. I usually start with about a nickel size amount on one side and then I continue to emulsify it to spread it around, but I usually have to pick up the same amount for the other side and just continue adding more until all areas of my hair feel coated. I find a lot of people make this mistake and they end up with a lot of root frizz if they don't get their product applied evenly. I mean, this could be a way to get more volume if you don't mind some frizz underneath to kind of puff things up. But if you're really struggling with frizz, you definitely need a more thorough application of gel. So since I didn't section, I just kind of lifted the hair up, flopped it over so I could get underneath, especially for areas that tend to be very frizzy for me. So those problematic areas like around my face, it does help to kind of flip it up so at least I can get underneath and close to the root. As I'm raking it, I'm also lifting the hair off the scalp for more root lift. Again, you don't want to leave your hair stuck to your scalp or else you're not going to have any volume. I'm also brushing the gel through to make sure it's evenly distributed. This is really going to help spread it evenly and smooth out frizz too. Then I'm running my hands through and lifting the hair up off the scalp. You could stop here if you want a very simple routine, but I'm not happy with how my hair looks here. I know it's not going to dry to its full potential. It's going to look very stretched out. It's barely going to be curly. The roots are going to be flat. This just is not my look. But I did want to mention, if you want to stop here, you could. If you want to keep it super simple, I would recommend at least scrunching some before you diffuse. But here's what you can do if you have some problem areas like me and you want a little bit more volume. So my scalp loves to show in the back and my crown area tends to look really flat. So I'm just picking up a piece there, brushing through the top to smooth out that frizz. Then I'm placing the brush underneath and then brushing my hair up and back. This is going to give some nice root lift right there. You want to avoid your section being too thick though, because then it can kind of smush the hair together and you get less volume. Then I'm also doing a little bit of finger coiling. So this is just where I pick up some curls around the top section and I just spiral them around my fingertip. This helps to tuck in root frizz. It helps to tuck in grays. So I love doing it around the front where I have a lot of unruly grays. I've also been getting a lot more volume on top by doing some finger coiling. Since my curls do actually curl at the root, I do need to help encourage them to spiral there, and that helps me get more volume. So this is all just optional. It's just some things that I like to do to enhance my curl shape. But the premise here is to only style on those problem areas. I'm not finger coiling my entire head. I'm not brush styling my whole head. I'm just being very strategic with my time and only doing it where it's essential and where it's really going to make the biggest difference for me. Otherwise, my hair is going to be flat and stretched out. So I do still want a little bit of effort. But I didn't spend much time on this at all, maybe 5 minutes max. And if I don't do this, my hair does not last as long if I don't define some of these curls. So it's really going to cost me time in the long run if I don't spend a little bit on wash day. We're almost ready to diffuse, but first I recommend to Microplop. This is just where you take your hair towel and you gently scrunch your hair with it. This is really important if you want to save time because it's going to soak up that excess water. Because if your hair is too wet, if your hair is soaking wet, it's really going to take a long time for it to diffuse and we want it to be quick here. So scrunch with your towel, and then I recommend going in with a second light glaze of gel. This is going to help lock in your style. It's going to keep your curls intact, smooth out any frizz that you might have gotten from microplopping, and you're going to notice so much more hold, especially with a very soft gel like this Weedad one. I get much better hold when I go back in with a second layer on hair that is more dry. Doesn't take long at all, just a quick glaze over top, fixing a couple pieces that look frizzy, and then we are ready to diffuse. As always, diffusing is optional and it depends on where you want to spend and cut your wash day time. If you have time and don't mind a more elongated look, you could totally air dry because then you can go ahead and leave wherever you're going. But I'm choosing to diffuse because I find that it's faster for me and I can get to my done hair right away. Because with diffusing, you're finishing your hair off, you can see your results right away. to make sure that you like them, if you need to fix any areas if needed. So to me, that's a faster process than taking hours for my hair to air dry. Diffusing also creates more definition and volume and shape for my hair. If you're really short on time, you could just diffuse for a few minutes to set your gel cast and the overall shape of your hair. But I do recommend drying all the way for the longest lasting results, especially if you're going to be washing your hair at night. You don't want to go to bed with hair that is still damp. It's just going to ruin your curls and it's not great for your scalp. So definitely take that time to diffuse all the way if you're washing at night before bed. I'm just doing my typical diffusing techniques where I diffuse upside down, some to reach the front, side to side to get the sides and the back area. And I also like to use the prongs to lift the roots, and that helps dry the roots so much faster. If you are spending more than 20 or 30 minutes to diffuse, then I highly recommend looking into the Curlsmith dryer, because it should not be taking you that long unless if your hair is super thick or you style soaking wet. But I don't recommend styling soaking wet anyways for that reason, or at least remove some of that water with your towel if you do style soaking wet. But the Curlsmith dryer helps cut down on dry time because of the diffuser head being so large. You can see how I'm basically gathering the majority of my hair in it at once. This is drying more surface area at a time. So it usually takes me anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes to diffuse. So if your hair density is similar to mine and the length is similar and it's taking you longer than that, then you could definitely shorten your dry time with a diffuser like this. Now here's how my hair looks after it is fully dry and it's still in the cast. So it still looks wet, which is normal because this gel is very moisturizing, but all we need to do is scrunch out the crunch. So I'm doing that with dry hands. I don't like using oils or anything. I just keep it very simple. I also like to fluff out my roots, separate some curl clumps. And another tip, you can take your diffuser and use that to scrunch out your cast if you want it to be even softer, or if you feel any dampness again after scrunching out that cast. That will really help remove that remaining moisture to help give you a fuller, softer look. So I just did this for maybe 30 seconds to a minute or so, and that can help make everything look softer. But if I'm going to be going out in humidity or going to bed, I usually skip this step. I don't scrunch out the cast. I would just leave it in the cast so it would last even longer, but I want to show you all my done and finished results. So here's a look at my final results. Overall, things look pretty nice for not doing a bunch of styling. This routine was very quick. Even though I did a little bit of styling, it only took me maybe 10 to 15 minutes or so. But I also wanted to compare it to my usual styling routine using this exact same gel. So in this side by side, same products, but different styling techniques. The main difference in my usual routine is I apply my gel in sections. I usually will smooth out frizz in sections, so I'll run the brush through, and then I will do a little bit more finger coiling, mainly on the top section, and then also just a little bit of brush styling where needed. So I feel like I have slightly different shape to my hair here. Now this could also be a difference in hair growth, just time between these two sides. And I also noticed that I have a lot more frizz on the routine from today that was very quick and easy. You can see a lot more frizz around the top section, and it also looks a little bit stringier. But overall, the front pieces look about the same because I did the same styling techniques. It's just a little bit more frizz within. Now, I also wanted to show you how the hair looks on the inner layers. So going back to the quick and easy routine, you can definitely see that the inner layers of the hair have a lot of frizz and webbing. Now, this isn't necessarily bad. It's very common with curls, but if you're not applying your products in sections and really getting everything smoothed out in sections, you will find that there is a lot more of this on the inner layers, which in turn can lead to some more tangles, especially on day 2, and just more frizz from underneath, especially on those areas like your ends or any problem areas. You're definitely going to see a little bit more frizz there. I also wanted to give you a look at how my hair turned out on day 2 and in comparison to my usual day 2 results, because this is where I really saw a difference in my hair. So my hair still looks really great on day 2. My hair usually holds up really nicely with this gel, but I definitely have a lot more frizz than usual, and I was also seeing more straightened out pieces. But overall, it still looks really nice. Not bad at all, and I have a lot of volume with this extra frizz that's going on. So what do you all think of these final results? It's definitely a little bit different than what I usually see, but not by a huge amount. With curly hair, there's always going to be those trade-offs there. I've said this before, but you really do see the output of the results when you do put in more effort in your curly hair routine. When I put in more time and I'm more meticulous with my styling, my results do last so much longer, and they're definitely more defined. It's really about getting your curls to their full potential when you're doing those more intensive styling techniques. I've done a video before all about my higher manipulation routine routine compared to a lower manipulation routine. And you can definitely see the differences there and how my hair lasts. But we still need something that is quick and easy to do. And there's always going to be a little bit of that trade-off there. So that's something I help my clients figure out is what are we going to sacrifice? What are we not going to sacrifice? That way you can get your hair to its full potential and what you're dealing with or how much time that you have. It can only get to so much. But if you can get your hair to where you are happy with it with spending less time and it's good enough for you, for your lifestyle, then that's totally fine. And you can do a more intense routine when you have the time or you just want to play around with things or maybe for a special event or something like that. So I hope you enjoyed this. I've really liked switching up my routine recently. I wanted to do something very simple, and it was kind of funny to see me struggle to not do more to my hair because I just love styling my curly hair. It's definitely fun for me, but I totally get how it's not fun for everyone. But let me know in the comments, do you do a more simple routine? Do you do even less than this? And do you really like your results? Because that's really great too. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you want to learn more about ways that you can enhance your natural curl pattern and which techniques might be worth it for you, what's not worth it, check out the recent video that I did comparing my low to high manipulation routine side by side if you want some more inspiration on how to still bring out your natural curl pattern but not put too much time and energy into your curls. So I will talk to you over in that video. Bye everyone.